Welcome to my unboxing of the Sony A7S III. This is predominantly a video camera, but also you can use it for photos. This camera has been out since 2020, and today I'll be doing a quick unboxing. But apart from the quick unboxing, I will also be telling you the reason why I bought this camera and what I will be using it for. And probably my own opinion and view might help you in your own buying, purchasing decision as well. So let's dive straight into the unboxing of this camera. Now, this camera already comes in sealed, as you guys can see. That's a great thing, and it's got tons of features right here, as you guys can see already. So we're just gonna open the seal. I'm excited about this. So let's just woo. Right, so voila. So here we have the box itself. So let's see what we've got in the box. So this is the first one. This is the cable holder, so it kind of hold the HDMI cable to your camera, and this is what this one is for. So this is the first thing. Also, you will see the papers like the manuals. I feel we live in 2022 right now, whereby they can make all these things digital at this point in time instead of putting this paper. But anyway, that's my own personal opinion. And thirdly, we have this cord itself. This is the USB-C cord. Now, this camera can be powered through the USB as well, and so it's a good thing to have that cord in there, and that is there as well. Now, let's get inside now and see what we've got inside. So first, we've got the strap itself. So this is the strap that comes with it. So yeah, beautiful strap. I don't normally use the strap, but and I don't know a lot of people that use the strap. This is the battery charger. So it looks great. It looks good. And it's good to always have this battery charger. So it looks great now. So that is the battery charger. I'm currently filming with my Sony A7 IV with the G Master 24 f1.4. Now, this is what we've been waiting for. So this is the camera itself. So here is the Sony A7 III right here. We have then. And it looks beautiful. It looks amazing, right? And as you guys can see, so let's look it from the back, right? It's a flip out. It looks beautiful. So that is the Sony A7S III. There's one more thing in the box that I need to kind of bring up. Obviously the cable with the power also. So, and also I think I have one more. This is for, I think, for different continent. This is for maybe the US, and this is for Europe, which I will be using as well. So if I bring everything back, so here is everything from the box. So this is everything that you're gonna get from the box if you receive this camera. And that is the unboxing of the Sony A7S III. So now what I will be doing next is, obviously, I will be going through the reason why I bought this camera, and then I will also be telling you guys what I will be using it for as well. Okay, let's head over to my studio. So initially, when I was doing my Sony A7S III unboxing and review, I didn't have some of the accessories. So I wanted to show you guys some of the accessories that I ordered in, and probably that might help you as well when you're purchasing your Sony A7S III. So the first thing that I have ordered in is the cage itself. So this is the cage, which I ordered in just to be able to help me to be able to balance my camera, and also when I run and gun, you want to protect your camera, and also makes you look professional, especially when you're working with big clients. So that's the first thing that came in. So let's look at the second thing. So the second thing right here is the K3M, the XLR. So this allows you to record digitally into your camera, straight into your camera. And this is a high quality audio. It also came with this mic as well, so which is a great thing. The third thing I do came in is also this undo. So it's the undo with the cage as well, came in this small box, which is nice. And obviously I already have the Ninja 5 already. This allows you to record RAW externally into your SSD card. You have to buy this as well. This is obviously the SSD card. Some of these things, obviously, as you guys can see, this is the full cage here. I don't have the full cage yet. This is the Atomos Ninja right here, which is a good monitor. It's quite expensive, but it does the job, and it's a very, very good one in my own opinion. So, right, I'm happy with all these accessories, and these are the things that you have to consider when you want to buy the Sony A7S III, because when you buy that camera itself, just alone, you will still need certain things. Like for instance, you will need this card, this Pro Grade, or you can buy any other manufacturing one. That you just need a V90 card. And I think if you have this accessory, it will help you to better use of your Sony A7S III. Okay, let's head back to the studio for the rest of the review. Okay, so that was the unboxing of my Sony A7S III. So let's now dive deep into this camera itself. So let's talk about a few features about this camera. So this camera also, first of all, in terms of the handling, it looks great. It feels great in my own hand. I have small hands already, and I like this grip. And I also like the different buttons on the body as well. Especially they added this, new record button right there, and you can now lock down the exposure compensation right here. Another thing I like about this camera right now is the viewfinder. It's about 9 million. It's like you're looking through real life situation in a very clear view, probably sometimes even clearer than your own vision. Is beautiful, the viewfinder. Right now, the LCD is about 1.4 million. It's not the best in the world, especially when you're in a sunny environment, but it works, and it's probably okay, but Sony could actually do better in terms of this LCD. Apart from that, is the usual thing on every Sony other camera. One additional thing that is quite different from the previous one is the introduction of the HDMI cable. This is now the previous Sony A7S II. They have the micro HD, which is very annoying to use. So having the full HDMI on this one is actually wonderful. And yeah, so I'm happy with the way the camera feels in the hands and it looks. And so let's go to the engine of this camera. So that is where the real work is. This camera is amazing in terms of it has different codec and different film format you can shoot in. It can shoot in 4K 120, it can shoot in 4K 60 and 30 as well. So it's an amazing camera that can shoot. Also, you can shoot in different codec, and also you can shoot in 4K, 4K 422 10 bit as well. If you know anything about that, that will allow you for flexibility in terms of more colors, to be able to walk around your pictures to get good images, especially when you're shooting in RAW or you're shooting in S-Log3, which is probably the best RAW format from Sony as well. Also, this camera allows you to shoot RAW internally into your external monitor, like the Atomos Ninja, which I already have so you can actually record into the Atomos Ninja. The benefit of that is that it allows you to be able to use your SD card as well, and to be able to use in ProRes RAW, for instance, that as easily you can edit it in Final Cut on other editing platform as well. So it's a good advantage to have that option to be able to shoot in ProRes, to be able to shoot to the external monitor. So it's a great thing. I mean, it's looking great as well. So those are these things that I actually love about this. There's so many other things to talk about in terms of this feature, but this camera has been hard for such a long time, and I don't want to dwell on all those factors features. So the next thing I want to talk about is the reason why I bought this camera. So I have a photography company. It's an hybrid company to say, and we predominantly do photos and video for weddings, for corporate event, and also different people that are celebrating. And most of the time, I do not have I'll probably, I have a partner that we work together, that the person obviously use their own camera, so we have to sometimes subcontract it out to be able to get somebody to be able to do the video as well. But right now I was thinking about getting a dedicated video camera for our company. The Sony A7 IV is great, which I'm filming on right now. It's a brilliant camera. It's got tons of features as well. But there's one caveat to that camera. It's got crop at 4K 60, which is not the best as well. But you can still play around it and get away with it. But I actually needed a camera that works and that doesn't have compromise, something I can rely on. I don't care about 8K. I care about a camera that can pick up, that at least has a 4K functionality, and I can shoot at least in 4K 60, 4K 30, and maybe 120 as well. And this camera can also shoot in 1080p at 2040, which is an amazing thing as well. So looking at that, I also consider other company like the Canon R5C, which just came out, and also the Panasonic G8 GH6 as well. I consider those cameras, but I'm already in the Sony ecosystem as well. The Canon R5C is very bulky, is big, and I need a camera that's like small like this. I can take out, I can use in some situation. I like a small form factor camera like this. So that was too bulky, that was too big, and the Canon RF lenses are damn expensive, and you don't really find the third-party lenses with most of their camera, which is a bummer. So that was no go. Then also the GA80 was a micro four camera. The autofocus is not great, but it's packed with tons of features. It's an amazing camera. If you're good in using manual manual mode and stuff like that, you probably get away with that camera, and you probably achieve a lot of things with that camera, even probably more than this one. If you're okay with the way the autofocus works, which is a contra based system also. So apart from that, I think all around that camera is great as well to have, and the price is around $2,200, which is not bad at all. But having considered I have so many good lenses from Sony, I have the G Master 135 f1.8, I have the G Master 24 f1.4, I have the 50 f1.2, and I also have the 90, and I also have the Sigma 85 f1.4. All those lenses are great. They are solid lenses. So all I needed was just to get a body of a camera that works, and I had to narrow my system down to Sony. I consider the A1. The A1's got 8K, is a lot expensive. Not only that, I could go for it, but then the accessories you need for the 8K will also be an issue. You'll need to probably update my system, my computer system. I'll probably need to buy all the accessories like the SSD card, like so expensive, and other features that you have to play around with. And that body alone is about 6,500, and with the accessory you're going to be spending close to like 8,000 already. That's just crazy. And there's a lot of people right now do not even have 8K TV, or even when you're watching it on YouTube, there's a lot of compression. So people will not probably appreciate 8K, and we've not reached that level of 8K for everybody yet. So I just narrow it down to say, look, I think 4K is the best option. If I can get a 4K camera that is mirrorless, that works well, that I can rely on, that I can take up, and every time I take it up to use, it works, and that's all I need. And after watching different reviews, I keep like going back to Sony A7S III. And at that point, I decided to say, this will be the camera for me, because you have to look at what you need and not what you want. This is what I need. It's not just a want, because it will do exactly what I want it to do for me. However, I still need to take out into the field, real life situation, and test this camera out. And then I'll do my final review at that point in time in the next coming weeks, and be able to tell you my final thought on this camera. But at this point in time, it's looking good, it's looking great. Now, the next thing is, what would I be using it for? Like I've said, we're an hybrid company. So I'll be using this for things like weddings, things like corporate events, things like talks, even on YouTube, things like this. So this will be my A camera in terms of video, and my Sony A7 IV will be my B camera in terms of video. In terms of photos, my Sony A7R IV will be my main camera, and my Sony A7 IV, which I'm currently shooting on right now, filming on right now, will be my B camera. Altogether, I have 3 bodies right now. So when I have 2 shooters in an event as well, the main shooter can have 2 cameras, especially when you're doing photos, and the other person can hold this one. If you're doing videos, we are going to be using the Sony A7S III #1 and we'll be using the Sony A7S4. You will need some accessory for this camera though, and that one you have to put into consideration if you plan on getting this camera, because it doesn't just stop there. This camera will set you back. This camera will set you back at 3,500, and a lot of people, in fact, in most cases, sometimes it's out of stock, right? But you will need to get this camera to work in its full glory, in its full functionality. You probably need the CF Type A card for this memory card. I mean, you can get away with using the SD card, because there's a fantastic thing about this camera is that you can use both the SD card, the USH2 cards, and also if you flip it over, you can use the CF Express Type A card. So it's a wonderful thing that you can use two different categories of card on this one camera, which is fantastic. But if you have the V90, you get away with a lot of things, like 90% of you can film with using the most settings on this camera with V90. But I think when you get to 4K 120, you can use the V90. So it's only the CF Type A card that will be good. So I think I'll eventually have to get those, maybe two of them or one of them. Or if you are getting 160 gig of CF Type A, one of them will cost you around $400, £400, which is about $399. Or if you're buying the 80 gig, it will cost you around maybe, I think, around £200, which is just crazily expensive. And so buying two of them will set you back around £800 or maybe $900, which is just mind-blowing. It doesn't stop there. You probably also need a cage for this camera to protect this camera, and the cage is around, I think, maybe around £300 right now. That one will also set you back. We're looking at 1,000, maybe 100 already. And then you now need an external monitor. I mean, it is not compulsory. You can use the flip out screen, but if you want to make use of it, I said the full functionality, probably you want to record in RAW, into an external monitor, which is like Atomos Ninja. That will set you back by £600, and that's if you add that to we're already looking at close to 2,000, and probably you need a gimbal, and that will set you back by around 800. If you're buying the GGR Roni RS, which is around 850 with the combo, I think that will send it. So you're looking about 2,000 plus to actually enjoy the full functionality of this camera. So if you had the 2,000, let's say 2,100 with the 3,005 you bought this camera, you're already looking at something close to 6,000 buying this camera. So don't just think about, okay, I'm going to buy this camera, but think about your overall system. Do you have the money for the accessories and everything before you finally make that jump to say, I want to buy a camera like this? Also, I already have the new Apple system, which is the Mac Mini M1 series. So that one is good. It could handle 4K. That's another reason why I didn't go for the 8K, because I think this one will struggle with the 8K, but it's okay for the 4K. So if you don't have a good computer system as well, you might need to upgrade it as well. That could cost you around another 1,500 or 2,000 to be able to get a good laptop to work. So those are the factors I put all together, because I already have some accessories, I already have some stuff with me already that I can use with this camera that will bring down the cost. But I just needed to take that leap of faith to be able to say, look, because we are expanding, we are moving forward, we're doing more events and weddings and stuff like that, I needed to invest in something that I can rely on and something that works well. And this is the Sony A7S III for now. So that is my thought. That's my own conclusion for this review. I hope you've learned one or two things in this review. If so, please smash that like button twice as well. And until next time, I say, guys, I say bye-bye.